Welcome back with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow, and tonight on our Influencer segment, a conversation with the incubator at Amity University. Incubators play a very crucial role when it comes to the life of a startup, more so if it's associated with an educational institution, encouraging more students and startups, of course, to start out, to think big, to think disruptive. Leaders of Tomorrow was in Raipur, and I caught up with Dr. Satyendra Patnaik. He's the head of the incubation cell at Amity University. Do take a listen to what he had to say. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on Leaders of Tomorrow. Very briefly, if we can talk about what it is you do at Amity University in terms of the incubator, and then I will talk about the importance of incubators.
Thanks a lot. Amity Innovation Incubator, the name how we suggest, we talk about innovation, we talk about incubation. Now, incubator is something like, you are bringing up a baby. So we bring up small organizations, startup companies, business ideas, everything into one roof. And then we try to mend them, we try to nourish them through our expertise of business etiquettes, of business models, and then we try to provide them with other sources, virtual incubation, which we try to give it to them. And then after, we try to handhold them. Once it is done, we try to put them into the real sense, real market. And after that, we try to spin off them. No, it's a company when it comes out. You have a startup idea into the incubator, and then when it goes out, it's a company altogether. This is how is the concept of incubator in the country, and we try promoting it.
Why is it so important to have incubators like yourself in educational institutions?
See, that is the basic step. How you study at organizations, study in the institutions, study at universities, but what's the need of it? Either people are getting into jobs, people want to get employed, but nobody talks about self-employment, nobody talks about giving employment. That is the novelistic concept which we already have, and we think of doing all those things. Universities are the basic backbone, the institutions are the basic backbone wherein you can have fresh minds. Microsoft is, we are ruling, Google, we are ruling. So all those things, it has to sprout down, the ideas has to come down from the universities, and the startup things which comes out has to be nourished well.
Do you think there's enough understanding of the need for, sort of getting students to think like entrepreneurs within universities in India?
Nowadays, I've seen organization, business, you never heard of a course called as entrepreneurship. There are people, those who are studying engineering, and they are having a syllabus which is onto entrepreneurship. There are people, those who really want to now in standard 12th, and I'm talking about universities, let us talk about even the smaller versions also. No, there are ideas which are there, and the students get into the think of. So it starts with the basic step in the organization, the basic step in the class when they come up. The entire setup is changed these days. Now from the scope wherein we had people getting into jobs, now people want to this happens where every time in my classes also, and I think everybody of us will agree. We go and ask how many people would like to start their own company. We would find now approximate a good amount, a good percentage of people getting into the startup things. This is how the things are changing these days. And thanks to Sachin Bansal, Binny Bansal and all those.
Yeah. You're based in Raipur. Is it easier for you to be able to find the kind of talent that you need when it comes to encouraging incubators, when it comes to finding those ideas in a smaller town like Raipur? Or do you think that it's still very concentrated in cities like Mumbai, Delhi, etc.?
Earlier it was. Now I don't think we can say that because the initiative taken by our Chief Minister, Dr. Raman Singh, last year he could do something called a Startup Chhattisgarh. Okay. There were around 450 ideas which came. Similar thing happened with Think Raipur, which now is a part of More Raipur. We also at Amity, we also gave some ideas. Our student also suggested some ideas because of the smart city and all. And even for that, we were felicitated at the National Youth Day. The government is encouraging us, coming up with Startup Chhattisgarh 2.0. They are coming up with a hub and spoke model which is called as 36 Inc, which is the 36 inclusive. Why it is 36? Because we are called as Chhattisgarh. So the 36 inclusive, which is a incubator, state-owned incubator, which has around incubating space of around more than 1.5 lakh square feet area.
Sure.
And 5 government institutes and 5 private universities are getting the chance working together for the development of innovation and entrepreneurship in the region.
For someone who's based in, say, Raipur or some other smaller city or town, do you think it's important that they look at ideas which are local to the area that they're in to give them that advantage over someone who's in another geography?
Know that Chhattisgarh is the only state wherein we are the highest producers of tamarind. All the food tech institute or organizations are based in other than Chhattisgarh. So this gives us a geographical advantage, and this is a part of tribal thing where lot in medicinal plants are also there. So we have to stress on, we have to depend on the local populace to get it done, which would eradicate the overall development of the state even.
I want to talk about a very interesting fact that I found out, that it's very easy to start a business in a place like Raipur. From the time your idea goes into the time you get all your licenses to start, it's about 3-4 days. What is Raipur doing which other geographies can learn from, that other states can learn from?
That's how it's all governmental things. So we get a huge support from the government of Chhattisgarh. When we have made a single entry system, the government has made a single entry system wherein we have to just go to the Department of Industries, and there are people set up who actually do it for us. That's the support which we get from the government.
All right, so I have one last question for you then, Dr. Patnaik. We've spoken about the advantages of having a product which is local to the area you're based in. We've spoken about the advantages of being based in a place like Raipur. I want to flip this around and talk about the challenges for an entrepreneur who's based in a place like Raipur, who's based in a place like Indore. And from your experience, what sort of advice do you give them about how to overcome those challenges?
I think the biggest challenge which we have, now the country is running for e-commerce, which we really face a problem because of the technical institutions. We do not have, we have technical institutions, but they are not well versed or well enriched with the system which they have. So we have to depend either on Hyderabad or for Bangalore or for Silicon City. That is what I would suggest all the people, those who are really graduating from here, to stay back, be the sons of soil and help us out in things so that we can make a prosperous Chhattisgarh and a prosperous, innovative, entrepreneurial Chhattisgarh. And
digital, of course, is changing the way everyone is doing business. So no matter where you're based, you can use digital, you can use technology to be able to reach the corners of the country.
That's a very important part which has to be done. And that is what, it's a commitment, I must say. If you are a part of it, you have to spend some portion of your life and you have to come. I think everybody is doing, even Google, people are doing it. In the country.
And Amazon, of course, and the likes of Flipkart have leveled the playing field for small and big entrepreneurs.
It's a case study, everybody is talking about Flipkart. Definitely, I have ideas, every day I'm getting ideas from the students where they are talking about saloons. We always talk about saloons, but we never thought of that e-saloon probably, wherein you are booking through an app and the next day morning you can either go directly enter inside, or that person is at your home with. So Javed Habib and all those guys, if they have the centers here, they're definitely doing it. That's the benefit of e-com. We need to have developers, we need to have technical guys, and the commercial guys are always there. It's a teamwork where we work.
Great. Thank you very much for your time, for taking the time out to speak to our viewers who are based in places like Raipur about some of the benefits really of being based in a place like this, and also your personal experience of having worked with incubators. Thanks for your time.
So nice of you. Thank you.
Completely out of time in this episode of Leaders of Tomorrow. If you have any feedback for us, you can always write to us at leadersoftomorrow@timescript.com. On social media, tweet at me at Sunanda_J or LOT_ET now. On Facebook, our page is at Leaders of Tomorrow on ET now. We love hearing from you, so do keep your comments coming in. Thanks very much for watching. Have a good night.